Everyone, welcome to another video webinar rather. If you see especially last videos which we had made, let me go to the Telegram channel. This was been made on 1st of May. So 1st of May, we especially discuss how Nifty has been overall negative. So this is the video of 1st of May. You can go to the unit of technical analysis channel, which is there on Telegram, and see further details. So 1st of May, we had said that we have tried to identify how the market will be moving next. Overall market is bearish unless we see some kind of support which is there. So let's go to the charts. Right, first of all, this is 29th of April, where we saw a bearish engulfing candle which was there in Nifty. This was not only in Nifty, but we have also identified the same kind of candle on the same day which is there in Reliance also. And we had also discussed about Reliance that the kind of pattern which is being formed in Reliance is basically maybe if it just crosses across the top from there, there are high chances that it may move down further. So the same thing happened over here, and I was behind Reliance specifically where I wanted to first of all take this rally further down. So how did that happen? Basically, I'll try to say some of the trades which I had taken from my side, but before that, the last sheets which we have just charts that I've updated on the Telegram channel, I'll just try to explain that so that things become much more easier for everyone. Right. So that was a bearish engulfing candle which was there, and after that probably it gave a 50% retracement. And overall, if you see this trend line which is there, the stock had been drastically moving down further in that direction. So there are no up moves which are there apart from small spikes upside. The market was continuously moving down. So I tried to trade that overall. And not only that part, but if you see, especially from 9th of May onwards till 12th of May, for this 3-4 days which was there, we were able to see that the price was moving down gradually. But with that, the MACD and RSI both were not moving down in tandem with the price which was there. So this is something which is called as bullish divergence, which we are able to identify with the help of RSI and MACD. This can be seen on 30 minutes time frame, which is there, right? So there are two criteria which is there. One is the trend line which has been formed. Probably it should be giving a crossover from the trend line. That is the first part. And second is we should be able to see some kind of price action which is there. So these are the two important criteria which should be able to fulfill. And once we know that, okay, fine, this criteria has been fulfilled, things would be much more easier for us, right? Because RSI and MACD, they are just indicators. They are not any kind of special confirmations which are there. So we know that, okay, fine, the market would be moving, but when the market would be moving in the opposite direction, that can be always be said in the in terms of price action which is there, right? So ultimately we had a range which was being formed. The range was somewhere around 100 points. The market did retrace back, give a 50% retracement, and after that we can see that there was a upside movement which was there in last 2 days, right? So how did I trade across with that? Yes, this has been shown over here. So there was 100 points, 2370 to 2478. There was a range which was being formed. There was a double top. The market tried to move down. Again, there was a double bottom and it just zoomed across from there in last couple of days. How did I trade across with that? I'll just try to explain few of the things so that we can go one by one for the points which are there. So as I told you, 29th April, yes, we knew that the market would be coming down, but before that it did go up. So some of the trades were there which were been taken in the opposite direction. This was early in the morning time, right? So morning time, yes, it was moving up. So I did take trades on the basis of that when it was moving up. And again, yes, this was there on 28th. 28th market was moving up, so naturally the trades were in that direction. So this is 28, right? Because it had not given any kind of signals for a reversal on 28th, right? And after that, one by one, slowly, gradually, it started moving down. Right. So there were again some PE trades which have been taken. So PE trade started somewhere around from those levels, and it gave me good points. This was especially there in Nifty because I was more focused on Nifty at that time, trying to take bigger trades over there. And yes, it gave me certainly some good amount of points, somewhere around 50 points in that direction. Right. And this was again, I guess, Nifty 70077. So this should be Nifty. Nifty again tried to move in that direction. These are the trades which I've already talked about. I was probably at that time focused on one thing at a time. 29th, because till 29th and there was no signal which was specifically been given by the market. So this is 9th of May. Where we on 9th of May is this are huge candles which have been formed, especially in part. And I was in Nifty at that part. So Nifty, yes, it was trading down further on those things. And this is 9th of May. So 9th of May again, this was been taken. Why? Because this was just moving below this 1.618 part. So 1.618 is again a critical point where we know that, okay, if it moves further, it should be going up to 2.618. So this were again P calls which have been taken, again giving two kind of profits, which is there. One call was there, second call was there, which was been taken, right? So this call, which was being taken at 52.97, it went up to 68, and probably this was end of the day where I did 212. 212 was, yes, and somewhere around at the end of the day, no, this was the next day. So ninth is somewhere around 212 when probably the market started moving a bit up, or maybe the target was been completed, so just trailed across with the call. Let's go on lower time frame, which was this day, 9th of May. So 9th of May, 2 o'clock. 9th of May. So this was the morning part. And if we see especially the candles which are there, again, we get same kind of retracements which are there in the market. This is our range 0 to 1, and again we get confirmations at 0.5. So probably these trades will be taken on the basis of that, and probably this reversal which had been caused maybe when I knew that, okay, fine, it is not moving down, or maybe probably it had just come down to 1.272. I had trailed my stop loss at that part and moved out of the trade, because from here again it started moving upside. So this trade was been closed. This was there on 10th of May. 10th of May, again a P was been taken, moving downside. Same kind of signals which are there. Probably market gave us a 50% signal to this part, and then from here it started moving down. So probably the trade was been taken in the morning time. Yes, and maybe closed also in the morning time itself. But there were multiple trades which have been taken because it was more of bearish. Again, P's which have been taken. So this is more of on terms of reversals which are there. So whenever we get this kind of signals, as I told you over here, from this high, the methodology that we are trying to adopt is again the same thing. Nothing has changed in the methodology, because this is what Nifty more of works on. It's not only about Nifty, but all the stocks that we have seen till now. All right, coming to almost 0.5 levels and then from moving down. This is not the accurate part, but maybe if we check in terms of price, always coming to that part, giving us some kind of price action and then moving down further. So this was there on 10th of May. And by the end of the day, it has accumulated good profits on 10th of May. As I told you, 311 is there. Probably after that, I started trailing my stop loss. So good profits were being made. One trade was there for 3.4K and second was there for 7.5K. So it gave a good profit at the end of the day. Because once you know that, okay, this is the direction of the trade, things become much more easier. Then again, the next day, 11th again, the market was more of in a range bound way. But let's see how I had traded specifically for that part. So again, 50% of the day was being reached. And from there, yes, it did started moving down. So again, a P was being taken in Reliance and it started moving down further. So again, trading with around 1 or 2 lots, not more than that. It's always good to be safe rather than taking bigger calls. So again, that was been going further down and I kept on trailing that stop loss. It's very important that you keep on trailing your stop loss, because once you know that, okay, you have accumulated good kind of profits, then it's much more easier to get across whatever amounts you have been getting in that. Again, there was a momentum loss, I guess, on that part. And maybe by 1:30, I was out of the trade. So another trade, which is again on the P side, once it moved upside, so probably taking 2-3 trades in a day, not more than that. So first trade was 7.5, which I showed you, and second was 4.5. Right. This was trade again, which was there by the end of the day. So end of the day, probably it was moving down further on 11th. So it was a trade which was been maybe probably taken at the top, and then when it started moving down gradually, I kept on trailing my stop loss. And 11th, you can see that, okay, fine, there were two profits, 7.5 and second is 4.5. So good profit, hefty profit for the day's time, which keeps on accumulating. So once you know that, okay, you have got the direction of the trade, you can accordingly trade on the basis of that. Right. This was there on 12th of May. 12th of May, again, it was a P because we hadn't got a confirmation till now for the reversal in terms of price action. So definitely in the direction of the trade, we should be moving until unless we get some price action, which is there. So this was 12th. 12th again, if you see, yes, in terms of price action, yes, it did move up and then it gradually started moving down. So these are the kind of price actions or directions that we get, right? And we should always trade in that direction. So somewhere around a profit of 5K, maybe from 2 lots. So again, it went up to 50% of the day. Maybe took up another trade. This was again in Reliance C, because from bottom it was coming up, right? And the logic behind this was, just show it to you. It had approached somewhere around this 2.618 level. So from 2.618 level, maybe chances are high. Either it's 1.618 or 2.618. So 2.618, okay, it was like gradually again moving up from here. So I took on with the levels which are there. And if I got a short trade by end of the day, definitely I did take that trade. So this was almost around 3 o'clock when the market was trying to move up. This was not end of the trade, it went further and again gave me somewhere around 8 8 points on that part, two lots. So 27 to 34 is again like 4K amount, which is there. 4.3 was there, and maybe another trade which was been taken is 54 to 62. Is it the same trade or something else? The same one which is there, right? That was a C which was been taken, right? So that also gave, this was the morning trade which was there. Yes. So first trade was there in the P direction when the market was moving down, and probably it went up to the 2.618 target which was there over here. So probably at that part I exited from the trade, right? So here somewhere around when it was moving down, probably I just exited from the trade. And after that, yes, it maybe have given a price action where it was trying to move up in the C part. And that's why this call of C was being taken when it was moving up gradually. And the C was being closed at a profit of almost 4K. So again, small trades, knowing the direction of the trade and where we need to take a reversal trade on the basis of that. So after 1.618, it is 2.618, which is there. So there, those trades were being taken, again giving good profits, right? Uh, on 13th, probably I was just waiting for how the trade would be happening. So there was a reversal which was been identified and a big bullish part, maybe around 100 points upward direction because it opened gap up on that day. You'll just see that. Right? Yep. This kind of price action which was there. So as I told you, yes, 2.61 it was been completed, and after that we should be getting a range. A good range is somewhere around 100 points basically. It's not necessary sure that it should be 100 points. It can be 80, it can be 120 also. But we should be able to also identify that, okay, fine. Once it has opened a gap up and probably created some kind of range, it should be also getting a reversal. So this can be always identified in the time in terms of price action which is there. Here it is first of all the moving average, there was a resistance, and also in terms of RSI MACD we will be able to see that kind of resistance which is there. So always look for those kind of things so that we are able to trade in that direction, right? So this was a C and this was a P which was been taken, right? Again it gave good profits. It is during the same day, that is 13th morning, there was a C which was being taken because of the gap up opening, and it went up. And during the second part of the day till 3:20, it was a P which was been taken because the market had started moving. See, understand the psychology of the market. Once we understand that, things become much more easier. One is it has given a breakout. So breakout, of course, it would be moving up. But with a breakout, it should be also giving a back testing. So you should always have that logic in your mind that, okay, it should be giving you a back testing. So this small back testing is not enough because it has given us a huge uh, downtrend. So the backtesting should also be in a similar fashion. So it gave and gave down, right? So yes, you should be having that kind of logic for the trade because it was moving down and it had reached to a level of zero point 0.5 almost. So reaching to that level, it becomes not 100% sure that okay, it will be moving down. But yes, the critical part is whatever profits you have earned till that time, you should be keeping that in your kitty. That is important. So keep on accumulating that profit. Somewhere around 320 I was out of the trade, didn't wait further. So there were two trades, 5 and 4.4K, giving me a profit of almost around 9.4K during the day. right? Then there was 16th, that is day before. Uh, this was a P trade which was been taken. I'll give you the logic of the P trade on 16th. Yes, if you see 16th, yes, it get given a double top. And after double top, I was not 100% sure how the market would be moving, right? So once you have a double top and got a confirmation, this was a big tail which was being formed. So naturally, it should be going down the double top. So I thought I was again not very sure what would be happening in terms of price action. But if a trade is being generated, definitely you should be going with the trade. So that was the negative part. Negative means rather it was a downtrend which was being taken. So downtrend it went up further, again giving me some good handsome profits by the end of the day. So again 5K was being generated over here, right? So this was with the moment of the market which was going down. So again, as it started moving down, end of the day, trade was being closed. For these days, no trade was being continued for next days, which is there. And yes, so T1, T2, probably 1.272 was T1. As the range was being formed, a reversal was being formed. So this was Reliance. I'll show you the Reliance part also. Yes, it started with a bullish upward movement. So I'm not pretty sure for this candle until unless it gave a breakout from here. I didn't trade into that. So with that breakout, yes, trading was much more easier. So I got into that trade. Again, it's more of in terms of price action which was being formed. So here I took off with the trade for the end of the day. Probably once it reached the target of uh, by 2 o'clock, I was out of the trade because it had reached the required target 2516. 2516 is maybe this may be the intraday part which was there. So when it was somewhere over here, so this may be the range which was been formed reversal and 1.618 when it had reached. I was just out of the trade, nothing more than that, because this says you in terms of price action which is there, or probably just above this, that is 1.272 level. So when it moved up, maybe probably it was trying to move down further from here. The call was being taken. No, this was the end of the day. So before two, yes, probably in terms of some price action which was moving down here, and it was been moving up, and probably from here when it was moving down, the stop loss was being trailed. Again, it was good amount which was there. So once you know that, okay, fine, you're getting good profits which have been accumulated. After that, the most important thing is to keep your profit safe. So stay your stop loss and just move out of the trade. If anything extra has been lost around, it's okay. But whatever you have earned till now, you should be able to keep that profit view. That is the priority part rather than getting anything extra. Right. So these are simple logics which are there. 18th again, in terms of price action. 18th trade was very critical because when it opened up in the morning, it was just like it hit 1.618. It hit 1.618. I was not pretty sure what would be happening. So I was waiting for the market to move above 1.618 level. But it didn't move. It did come down. So I was like waiting somewhere around for a price action to be formed. Let's go on probably 5 minutes chart, right? So if I go on this smaller time frame, this was the opening and this was the low. So here again, there were no 100% confirmations whatever would be happening in the market. So it was like either it should be closing above this or probably some kind of price action which should be happening. If that is happening, nothing like it. If it is not happening, probably you should have just be waiting for the trade to be happening. So it was like 143 trade, and again a good profit. Now why I closed at 143 is, I'll just tell you. Till that time it was moving up, and it has reached to a target of 2570. I was already expecting this target which was there, and let's say 17. So these are the setups which have been made as per the price, or maybe time frame. Yes. So because the range was been formed in almost 2 hours time frame, I was expecting this was there on 17, not even this was 18. So somewhere around on 17 itself, on the basis of the range which was been formed, I was expecting that the market should be at least moving up, going beyond that, and from the bottom at least you should be picking up for 200 points. So because that was a psychological figure from the bottom, that's why I've taken that figure. So it went up to approximately 2570, which I had given a day before should go big around 200 points from bottom around 2570. So this was on the morning of 17 at 10:40. 17th morning, the market was somewhere around here, not even just crossed the one level which was there, or maybe just crossed the level one. So this was the range which was been formed, right? So once you know that okay, this kind of range is been formed and you are getting double bottoms, probably it should be a stronger move upside. And after 1.618, I thought that okay, it should be going up to this. Why? Because as I told you, 200 was the psychological figure after 150. So if this is 150, I was thinking that okay, fine, because 1.618 is there, so above that it should be at least touching the 200 mark level, and that was the reason for 2570. And we reached at 2570 in terms of timing. It was 140, 5 minutes candle, and on 18th 140, I was out of the trade, just moved out because didn't make any sense which was there, moving any direction which was there, and it was exactly at 2570 that I was out of the trade. Because yeah, once you know that okay, you have reached the target, the most important thing is just move out of the trade. Doesn't make any sense moving and anything further. Why? Because options is a pretty confusing game. Once you reach your target, the first priority is going down, moving out of the trade. Why? Because even if you get 4 or 5 points down, probably it should be just eroding your profits. So when you are at the peak part, just move out of the trade. That is the thing which should be done. Okay. So that were the trades which have been taken. And as I told you, yes, the gradual trades which have been taken from 28th, 29th, 9th, 9th. As I told you, 5.4K was the profit which was been there. 10th May, almost 10K. 11th May, 12K. 12th May, again 8.8K. 13th May, 9.4K. 16th May, 5K. 17th May, 10K profit. 18th May, 10K profit. So it was almost an accumulation of somewhere around 90K during this time period. And this was all from Reliance together, right? Why? Because as I told you, we need to identify the cycles which are there. See, in HDFC, which was being said in the webinar of 1st May, right? Where we were saying not only Nifty but also other stocks. So we saw the price action which is there in this stocks, that fine. Let's say, for example, HDFC was there. HDFC, again, the same thing which was been done is it has created a range. It had just moved across the top, and from there it drastically started moving down. So I was like, okay, fine, something similar should be happening in Reliance also. Reliance gave us those kind of confirmations, confirmations in time frame. Like, first of all, it gave a bearish engulfing candle which was there in the daily part. So once was that was been done, I was pretty sure that okay, the market would be moving down. And when the market did move down, after that we also got confirmations in terms of bearish engulfing. So we should not trade on the basis of just the signals which have been given, but it's more on the basis of confirmations which are there in terms of price action. So once you know that okay, in price action we have got that kind of confirmations, I definitely try to get into the trade. So it was like a range was being formed, a reversal was being given, and from there the market did move upwards. So let's see, I'm thinking that the market should be moving up somewhere around 0.5 level, at least 2610. But yesterday, if we check down, Dow Jones was almost down by a hefty percentage. It was almost down by 3.5%. So let's see how the market opens today. It's almost 9 a.m. now, and we'll be able to see that, right? If you have any kind of doubts, then first and most important thing is be a part of this unit of technical analysis group on Telegram, right? Once you are there into the group, I'll definitely try to get in touch with you. That is the first part. And second is for YouTube. My humble request is please do subscribe to this channel, Unit of Technical Analysis for Trading. There are videos on contents which have been paid as per the playlist which is there. Try to go to the playlist and go through different programs which are there, or maybe once you know that, for example, let's say the unit of technical analysis is there. Apart from that, we have WD gun and we have intraday trades which are there. So once you're able to identify this, try to study that so that you are able to get in-depth understanding of the overall things. Please do subscribe to the channel. Write down your comments, because if you place down your comments, I will be able to understand what are the things that you understand and what are the things that you are not able to understand. And on the basis of that, I'll be able to give you some feedback and maybe some extra things also which are there that should be also put across to you. Okay. Thank you, guys.